What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shot of Sports podcast. Grab a drink, a snack. This is your weekly dose of sports, where we'll break down and do a deep dive of the world of sports. Whether you're a casual fan or a diehard, we're here to bring you the latest, the best analysis, and the hottest takes. Subscribe, share, and even leave a comment. We appreciate all the feedback that you give us. Smash the like button for us and tap the notification bell on the right so you can be notified whenever we drop, so you won't miss one. We got on the pod right now. Nazir Spencer and Chris Bittner. So how was y'all weekend?
It's good, man. We had the Cooner Classic this weekend. It was super fun. We're blowing up on Instagram right now. Barstool Sports wants us to use some videos. Feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I got to watch the Brewers walk it off on Saturday night. I got a free Jackson Churio giveaway jersey out of it. So yeah, good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I went Hey, and I don't want to bring no personal life into it, but I did hang out with someone. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
What you mean, though?
Fingers crossed for you.
Hey, we'll get into that. We'll get
What you mean,
into all that when it actually
wait.
if
I didn't even
it
know
actually goes. So whatever.
I usually know this right away. You should have said that. Now I want to know.
I'll spill the tea whenever if something come out of it. We'll spill the tea. But we're gonna jump into our topics first. Yeah, so we got NBA Finals. Obviously, series tied 2-2. After a clutch potential superstar game-winning shot, Therese Halliburton hit the game winner in Game 1. SGA and the Thunder would respond in Game 2 with a 15-point win, and now the series shifts to Indiana, where anything is possible, and let's just call it what it is. Indiana is a tough team to beat at home, so what should we be in store for the next 2 nights in Indy?
It's gonna go 1-1, and then it's gonna go back to OKC. OKC is gonna win that one, and then OKC is gonna go back to Indy and win. I'll give the Pacers a game because I think they're, I'm not gonna sit here and actually hate on them. They're actually a good team, and Tyrese is a great player. I don't think he's a superstar still, but he's still getting there. The reason I say he's not a superstar yet is because he's too inconsistent. And I know superstars can be inconsistent, but we're seeing one on the other side of the team, OKC, not be inconsistent, putting up 34, 36 a game in the finals so far. So he's getting there for me. But, like I said, 1-1, got the Thunder winning this next game, Game 3. Then I got the Pacers winning Game 4 because they always win Game 4 for some reason. And then Game 5, OKC, go back to Indy, get the last game, get the trophy in Indiana, and go back home to OKC and celebrate. That's how I see it.
Oh, we got Sam on the pod. What's up, Sam? How's your weekend?
Not so bad. High school graduation, hanging out with fam, just standard stuff like that. So not so bad. I bring some news. Not sure if it's good or bad, but John Boy Media has now allowed Major League Baseball to own a minority stake in the company. Discuss.
Wow. Like podcast form.
John Boy Media, what is that?
I don't know how much.
I've heard of them.
They do like
John Boy Media is now
are they talking baseball too?
Actually owned by Major League Baseball. I don't know how to feel about that.
So I feel like it's tough because they're almost impartial. They're impartial now. That's the thing, and it's gonna be tough because they're not gonna be able to criticize the league because the league's gonna be telling them what to say basically, and I don't think I'm a fan of this. On one side, I guess you could argue that John Boy is gonna almost be the voice of the league, and it's good to have the MLB involved, I guess. But at the same time, I don't like it that much, I guess, now that I think about it. And it just doesn't really make any sense to have your company that you built from the ground up be purchased partially by the MLB. And I have concerns that they'll just start shilling for them.
See, my thing on that all, dude, I've seen smaller companies sell their rights, not all their rights, but like a small portion to a bigger company, and it never pans out for the guys that started it all in the first place, because the guys with the bigger money are ultimately going to buy you out and try to make it something that it's not. And I don't know John Boy Media at all, but I'm sure it'll be good for them for a short term kind of thing, but long term their business is going to be owned by the MLB, and they can't do too many things because they're going to be under MLB regulations and guidelines that they're going to have to follow. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like ultimately almost like ESPN. You got to control what you say, and you can't really say too much opinion wise because you're still trying. They're trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I think they might be trying to make it somewhat like ESPN to be like professionalism or something like that. Or you can't really talk bad about certain things or have a opinion on certain things. But I mean, although they're a pretty good company. I mean, I've seen a couple videos before in the past where some people had some good fire hot takes and some people had some bad ones, but they had takes nonetheless. So it's something that probably can look forward to down in the future with all these different kinds of companies coming out with different kinds of media and different kinds of voices, which will probably be good for the industry in general.
I mean, one of the things that I like about podcasts, though, and what diversifies them from like more corporate ESPN, FS1 type sports media, is that they're authentic and they're allowed to say what they want. No one's telling them what to say behind the scenes. And I'm concerned that if John Boy takes this over, or if the MLB, takes this over, they're not going to be as authentic. Their takes aren't going to be the same as they were. The content's going to be completely different. Everything's going to be way more regulated.
I feel like Barstool Sports is like the only podcast kind of oriented business that will let you kind of do whatever you want because their owner's pretty cool. And I don't know. I feel like under ESPN, you work for Disney, so you're not going to be able to do much. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be really hard for you to say what you want to say without ears behind the scenes, like you said. But I don't know who the MLB kind of partners with. I know they partner with like ESPN, but I don't know if ESPN like has all the media rights. I'd have to look into that, but I'm curious on how that's going to work out for them. But congrats to them. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing that right now with what I mean. So it'd be pretty cool.
Although on the other side of it, I do want to add that I feel like if you're John Boy, you have to take this opportunity just for the financial incentive of it. The league's probably going to pay them a bunch of good money to do this, and as their partner, they probably had to pay into it. So for them, it's a no-brainer. You take the opportunity if it's there, but I don't think their content is going to be nearly as authentic as a result.
Yeah, they're not I don't know, they're not as popular as like other streaming sites, I guess, but it should be interesting. MLB has a lot of money, so they don't have like a face of the media for them yet. So it should be pretty cool on having them be like the big face and see if they can take off there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, indeed. But so we're gonna jump back into the NBA Finals. I think what Nazir say they were gonna go back 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Indy would take game 4, you said, right?
Right, that's what I think.
I think Indy's going to take game 3 specifically because of how good they are responding to losses. This postseason, they haven't lost 2 games in a row once yet. In fact, in their first 2 series, they only lost 2 games. They responded to a loss in Milwaukee with a blowout on the road. They respond to a loss at home against Cleveland and blow them out by like 50 or something like that. So I could see Indy rebounding specifically for that reason. I think the crowd's going to get them going at home. They're going to hit some of those open shots that they were missing. And the defense was their biggest issue in game 2. They could not get a stop. They were scoring points in that second half. Felt like they might have been able to string some, like a little bit of a comeback together, but it just never happened.
Did I was saying this the other day. They every time I saw Indy like making a little bit of a run, you
Yeah,
could
like a
just tell
7-0, something like that.
it was 8-0 run at one point, like the third or fourth quarter, and it looks like Dagnall gets like out coached so bad defensively, and I don't know, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm tripping, but the defensive sets are just like sloppy, and then like the players just bail them out because they're so good. So I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, obviously Dagnall or Carlisle got out coached last game offensively and couldn't really pinpoint like how to stop getting these turnovers, and you know what I mean, like it was just hard for him to just kind of coordinate that with the players, but. I don't know. I'm excited. I don't think that OKC hasn't lost back-to-back games either. So at that point it kind of cancels out and comes down to who's the better team. That's why I think OKC is going to win this next one and take the home court advantage back. Because if they lose the next game, you know they go back and they get 2 more home games while Indy gets 1. So it'd be pretty cool to see how that goes out. I think Game 6 is the wrap for the Pacers miracle run so far.
This series, I have to admit when I'm wrong. I thought it was not going to be entertaining at all. That's not true. Both teams are bringing it on offense, bringing it on defense. It's been a lot better basketball. I think the biggest issue with this is just how the product is put forth, specifically by ESPN. It didn't, especially in game 1, it just didn't feel like the finals. It just felt like I saw this on Twitter. It was like an average regular season game in January. It didn't feel big or grand or anything like that. Like there was no extra aura behind it that it used to have in the mid 2000s, 2010s, and even up to like 2021, 2022. It's really just, it doesn't feel that important anymore. And it's sad because the basketball this year has been some of the best we've ever seen.
I wouldn't say that it was I wouldn't say that it was like a regular season game. It felt definitely like a playoff game, but it just didn't feel like the finals. It didn't have that kind of aura. The commercials were, like the intros were just regular, like the playoffs were, like it was the second round, or the fans waving the towels. That felt like the second round. The court looked like the playoffs court. It just didn't look like the NBA finals. And I can see why people were saying that. I mean,
well, do you know why?
Back in 2009, they had the big, gigantic trophy in the center court right underneath the logo. It gave it that kind of aura. So
they said they took that off because of player safety, which I find that complete BS. But I don't know. I feel like
if nothing else, just put the graphic on there or something. There's got to be a way. I mean, they do it with all the sponsor logos on the side.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. When I was watching the games, it felt like the finals to me. It's just not as hype. Like when you go on ESPN or any other sports show, they talk about the finals, but then they go talk about like LeBron, like right after.
Right. It's like,
so it's just like, dude, like why are we talking about LeBron? He's been out for a month now. Like, can we talk about what's actually going on the basketball court? Like, it's just like no one wants to talk basketball anymore. It's all about clicks and views, and which I understand. That's what brings the money, but I mean, dude, like people sometimes watch your shows to analyze basketball, especially the finals, especially when you got, the MVP in the finals right now, who's going to be the first MVP, hopefully, to win the finals since Steph Curry in the same year. Like, I mean, come on, man. No one talks about the finals like they do anymore. It used to be hardcore debates and analyzing the game, and now it's just like, it's just two small market teams in the finals. We're not going to talk about unless LeBron or Curry's in the finals anymore, or even Jason Tatum. So it's whatever. But
it'd be very interesting when LeBron retired. What they going to talk about? That's when I'll tune in. I ain't gonna watch it.
They've been running LeBron into the ground for the last like 5 years now. It's ridiculous.
I think when LeBron retires, it's going to be something to watch, especially First Take. I would love to see how they would pivot, because
they're still going to talk about it when he retires. You got to understand that. Like
they're just become the GOAT debate every single day.
Yeah, he's gonna retire, and then they're gonna be like, oh my god, let's go over his entire career and congratulate him for months on months until it dies out, which is never gonna die out because he's considered the greatest player of our era and maybe of all time to some people. So it's like they still talk about MJ to this day. He's never gonna go away. That's the only issue about that. So I don't know.
You know what they're gonna start doing too is they're gonna start comparing like current players to what LeBron did, like Shea versus LeBron, this person versus LeBron, Giannis versus LeBron, Tatum versus LeBron. It's just gonna be that, or like
They won't
if
even do
anyone
Giannis.
like Wemby in the future, for example, in 5 years, Stephen A. Smith will be sitting there talking about who's had the better first 5 years of their career, Wemby or LeBron, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's not even gonna bring up Giannis because they never do. So I don't even.
They don't never talk about baseball.
No, they don't know.
No.
Baseball. I mean, they do
don't
around.
talk
Unless
about
it's shown.
baseball.
They
talk
talk about the
Finals when
Dodgers.
it's the
They
World
talk about
the
the World
Yankees.
Series. Yeah, they talk about the Yankees or Dodgers. They don't talk about any other team. It's like not possible for them to do that. Maybe the Phillies. They sometimes get a little.
Like, I would love to see what the producer actually decides. Like, what does he decide is a good topic to have? Like,
I'm telling you, it's the clicks. It's the whatever gets. They've been the number one sports show for like 12 years for a reason, dude. They literally they have like these meetings in the morning, I think. And I was listening to a podcast. They have these meetings in the morning, and then they go discuss what is the best outcome that they will get that day. What happened last night? Obviously, they'll talk about football. They always talk about football, which is great. They never talk about deals that get done in MLB, hockey. They started talking a little bit about hockey, a little bit more in baseball recently. I don't know why, but
It's because it's the postseason.
I know. But before that too, like right before, I think it was I don't remember his name, but whenever that record was broken, like
Ovechkin.
yeah, Ovechkin, yeah. But
yeah, but you're kind of forced to talk that because that's the greatest hockey player of all time. So
right.
it's like,
no, that's what I'm saying though. Like, but they start talking about the games too, though. They start talking about a little bit about the
Well,
games.
then they bring it back to LeBron somehow with Ovechkin too, or something like
what
that.
That's what I'm talking about. They compare Ovechkin to LeBron, and people are like, Ovechkin's 10 times better than LeBron. So like, that was the debate, and it sparked a lot of outbursts on their social media pages. That's how it works. I don't know. I've kind of studied the way they do it, and it's really smart, but it's a lot of rage bait, and I love it personally because it's just like, what are you gonna do? I mean, you're getting so many views, and people are getting mad about it, and they still watch anyways. So it's like, I don't know, man. The baseball thing, I don't know if they're gonna talk about baseball until maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. They I don't know if they know too much about baseball. They talk about boxing and UFC more than baseball, which is very interesting to me. So.
I mean, that's just the world we live in. But the NBA Finals, I mean, it's just, I don't know. If Indy can find a way to get 2 games at home, they'll win the series. Obviously, it'll be 3-1, but that's going to be the hardest 2 games to win now. It's the next 2.
I feel like we were saying before the series that like the first game especially would tell us a lot, and it feels like we're at the same point that we were before the series, where it's so hard to make predictions on these games because we just don't know who's going to show up what day, especially with the Thunder. J-Dub and Chet both did not show up whatsoever in game 1. They both really struggled. Chet only had 6 points. Game 2, they responded accordingly. Daigneault made the adjustment, bringing Hartenstein back into the starting lineup. He was doing his thing. Chet was doing his thing. J-Dub was doing his thing. Shea did his thing. It was just like,
I told you, bro. I don't know what's wrong with Chet, bro. I just
don't think this is a good series for him.
He's bothering the hell out of me. He's 6 points and then 15 points. Come on. What do we need to step it up? He's a guy that could average 20, 22, like 10 and like 4 if he really wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, he's just soft to me right now in the middle, bro. Like he doesn't like driving to the paint, and when he does, he just smokes the layup. It's like he's not focused and he's like nervous. And I'm like, dude, you've been to a big stage before. You've been to the fucking national championship. Like, why are we not having? It's just, I want him to be so good. I really do. It's just, he's showing me why Wemby is just 20 times better. Imagine if this team had Wemby.
imagine if any of these teams had. I mean, you could add Wemby to any of these teams, and you could say the same thing. But
Pretty much. I
mean, it's just we don't know what kind of Thunder team's going to show up in game 3, game 4, because they have these games where they blow teams out by 40 points and then they go and lose the next one like they did against Denver. It's just, they're a really hard team to predict is what I'm learning this year.
We know that they have the MVP and he's going to average 30 regardless. So that's all I know. I don't think anyone on the Pacers can guard that guy. So I genuinely don't think there's any way to stop him. You have to stop everyone else. and you cannot let Alex Caruso score 24 points or 20 points, wherever he had last game, on you. And
I think they lost because of Wiggins.
Wiggins and Caruso. Caruso was making crazy plays by himself. They were explaining this on the live broadcast. They said he just goes up, like they don't even call a play for him. He finds an opening and just makes a shot every time. They don't even call plays for him. And that's an issue for the Pacers. If you're letting Caruso put up 20-some points on you, being the second leading scorer on the team, you're not going to win that game because everyone else on the team is also going to put up good points, like Jay Will and J-Dub and Chet and Wiggins.
I mean, that also speaks to the Thunder's depth at the same time, though. Like, literally anybody can go off on that team pretty much that's in the rotation. Indy has a lot of players that can score 10 to 15, like TJ McConnell. He might break 20 sometime. Obi Toppin can do that. Benedict Mathurin. But when you look at this OKC team, literally any of them can just have a random 20 bomb. And they'd be... all those guys like Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe could all be starters on different teams, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's for Indy, they just need Tyrese Halliburton to play well. He doesn't need to pass so much. If he actually put his head down and scored, that game doesn't get out of hand. Because they had a 3-point lead in like first 5 minutes.
He can't score consistently against his team. I tried to tell you that. Yeah, he made the clutch shot in game one. Yeah, absolutely. I won't take that away from him. He made a crazy good shot.
But I'm saying, like,
consistently.
If people like, oh, he had 14 points. Oh, he didn't do nothing, bro. Those 14 points were impactful.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mike Breen literally said at one point that Halliburton in those last couple of minutes of game one, despite hitting the last shot, took a back seat. Because he knew that they were going to focus on him, and he's not enough of an alpha scorer to necessarily take over a game in that moment when he knows that OKC is going to be keyed in on him. He's not like a Shea or an Ant or one of those guys that's going to try and take the game themselves at the end. He's different, and that's why I don't think necessarily that he's a superstar to the level of a Shea or an Ant or a Luka or a Giannis who's going to try and take that game over in the last couple of minutes.
See, it's not, and that's the problem with what people are saying. What people are trying to only leave one title of a superstar. People can be superstars in different kinds of ways. Like he could be a superstar by being impactful with his passing, with his court vision, with his what do we call Chris Paul?
Chris Paul was averaging like 25 a game for like 10 years, though, or something like that. He was over 20 every season.
2 steals. He averaged 2 steals for like 10 years, bro.
But when you think of Chris Paul, you look at him as a pass first guard. You don't think of him as like a Anthony Edwards or a Luka, a dynamic
two-way guard. I think of him as a two-way guard who can lead any team to the playoffs. I don't think Tyrese can lead any team to the playoffs. I don't think he can be consistent as Chris Paul can be in his career. Like, yeah. He's averaging, bro. Tyrese is averaging only 15 points and 15, 6, and 6 right now, which is good stats. Those are not superstar stats to me. And if you're a superstar in this league, every superstar you can name: Giannis, Jokic, Shea, Luka, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, LeBron, all the superstars you can name, they make an impact on their team by leading their team down the stretch. Tyrese has not done that. Siakam has. Siakam is the superstar of this team right now. Halliburton has not willingly took this team to the next level. I don't think he has personally. I think Siakam has. I think Siakam has been the best player since the beginning of the Knicks series, which is a fact because he won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So I don't know. Personally, I just think if you're a superstar, you have this like and he just carried his team to the finals or Western Conference Finals. They shut him down because he's the only threat. You shut Tyrese down, Siakam's right there. You know what I mean? Like you shut Shea down.
Julius Randle.
He got shut down, yeah.
Siakam, you could make a case. Siakam got shut down per first 2 games too. He didn't have like 25 like he normally had.
Yeah, but they won game 1 based on Siakam's play and not Tyrese's play. Last game, no one played well. They figured out Siakam pretty easily, and you figured out Tyrese. I mean, you make it hard for him to pass and score. I mean, what else can he do? He's not going to play outstanding defense on you and make some fast break calls.
When you're the defensive focus, you're a superstar to me. I'm sorry.
He's not.
You're the defensive.
But you could look at it the same way and go like, oh, Jordan Poole is the focus of the Wizards. Like when teams play against the Wizards, they focus on him. I know it's a completely different comparison, but some of those teams, it's like they don't have. I just don't think Indy has a true superstar. Is what I'm trying to say, and they have multiple really good players. Like Halliburton is an all-star. Siakam is an all-star level player. Miles Turner is a very good player as well. You could even argue that Aaron Nesmith is coming along, not quite to that level, but to the starter level where he's a solid starter. I just don't think Indy has a true superstar on that roster where if you absolutely need a bucket, everyone's locked down. I can't say with 100% confidence that if you're down 4, Halliburton's going to bring you back.
Yeah, Hallie, you can be clutch and not a superstar, bro. I'm not saying that he's not a clutch player. He's one of the clutchest players we've seen in the playoffs. But that doesn't make him a superstar because if he was a superstar, I mean, he can go band for band with Shaven, in my opinion. That's what Ant was doing. That's what Jokic was doing. I mean, no one else is able to do that right now besides those two, and maybe JT or even maybe even Jalen Brunson. I don't know. I don't know.
People have called John Morant a superstar.
Well, he was at one point. He was willing his team to the playoffs, and he did. And yeah, he lost that superstar status when he got in trouble, and then he hasn't been the same since. He was a
once you label a superstar, it's pretty hard to remove that unless they literally have a down career. And his career isn't down; he just had injuries.
Well, he's had injuries and he had off court issues, and he hasn't been.
He hasn't played a ton either, so it's.
I mean, when you're injured, you can get that stripped away from you.
I mean, people still label like Derrick Rose a superstar.
Well, not really. I mean,
I mean, maybe for like those couple of years, but
I mean, no one calls. I mean, everyone says that when Joel Embiid is healthy, he's a superstar, which is true.
When healthy,
right? When healthy, but when he's not healthy, he's not a superstar because he can't stay healthy. That's just kind of the reality of this whole sports thing, bro. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel as if Tyrese is at that superstar level yet. There's something about him that's just missing. I think he's missing the scoring consistently. First of all, I think his passing is amazing. I don't think
it's just that we've come to the point to where we've looked at scoring and put up 25 and averaging 30 as superstars.
No, that's not it because he doesn't play great defense.
Anthony Edwards isn't averaging a double-double in this, isn't averaging like 7-8 assists.
He's also not a point guard though. Anthony Edwards is a 2 or a 3. You're not expecting 10 assists out of a 2 or a 3.
He's listed as a point guard.
He's listed as a shooting guard. Mike Conley's a point guard. Anthony Edwards is like he's like one of the best 2-way guards in the league because he can play defense. He can score on you from anywhere. Besides, like maybe his mid range needs a little bit of work, but that people consider him a superstar because of the impact he has on that team. I don't think Tyrese has that type of impact on his team.
I mean, it would be probably a debate for a pretty long time, I guess. But we got to move into the next one, which is the Panthers dominated the Oilers last night. They won 6-1. The Oilers won game 1, but the Panthers absolutely destroyed them last night. So with that kind of performance, are the Panthers about to go back-to-back, or are the Oilers in serious trouble? I know Drew would probably be very upset right now.
Man, I'll try to tell you, I'm not worried. I told y'all, game 1, that was cute. You got a last second puck to the goal. That's cute. Let's see if you can do it again. They haven't done it since. You can't make this up. They are not fit to beat this team right now. This team is amazing offensively. Defensively, like you said, they destroyed them. Couldn't do anything. Look, Panthers all the way, man. That's all I got to say.
If the Oilers don't win game 4, it's wraps. They're done.
Well, I mean, if they don't win game 4, it's 3-1. So,
well, what I'm trying to say is that it'll be bad for morale. I would say they probably lose in 5 if they lose game 4. There's just Florida's been dominant most of this series. They've taken leads in every single game. It's just whether they've held on to them or not. And It was tough, especially in game one, because I want to say Edmonton scored first, then Florida scored 3 straight, then they got 2 more, and then it went to OT. And I feel like the OT in game 2 might have broke them a little bit in terms of just their energy and spirit. And game 3, Florida just took it to them. It was a BTA.
Hey, I tried to tell y'all, man. Their defense. I told you we were discussing this last week. They were so gassed in the overtime game, like you said, and even then they were still struggling to get past the Panthers. Give them a full game on, figure out what the other team can do, and I promise you, they're not going to lose this series. They're going to win this in 5 or 6. Maybe if they go to 7, the Oilers will not put up 3 points, three goals, I should say. They will not. It's not going to happen. It's going to be like a 4-1. Promise you.
One of the bigger problems yesterday was that Skinner was not good for Edmonton. He had been fantastic for them in the first 2 games. He was good throughout the Western Conference Finals. Then he goes on the road and he lays a bit of a stinker against Florida yesterday, and they pulled him, didn't play well, and they need him to be good because he was arguably the reason they were sticking around in games 1 and 2. Florida had a lot more opportunities that were right one-on-one on net, something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we can really. Man, this is tough because, I mean, I thought the Oilers had a bigger fight, but it'll be very interesting to see for sure. I believe that the Florida Panthers. I said it that this is probably the Oilers' worst nightmare is the Florida Panthers, especially when they, won or when they were dominating the series against the Carolina Hurricanes. But I don't know. It's something to really look at because we're gonna have to really start having that. We're gonna have to have a hard conversation about, is Connor McDavid that guy? Like, yes, he's fantastic. Yes, he is awesome and crazy and great. But we got to have the same energy as we had for
He made the finals.
Yeah, but he got to win one.
That's true.
You got to win one to be a part of the greats.
Kryptonite, it feels like.
I still think he's going to be a part of the greats. He's going to be like that.
Well,
that
yeah,
but
I mean, but when we look at the NBA, we hold players to, he still ain't won a ring yet. When we look at Tatum, we say, look at Tatum. Tatum, the most disrespected champion ever.
Because he didn't.
Well, he ain't gonna do it again though. Like, he just won a chip.
Jaylen Brown won them that chip, but yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I can't say that he did not have an impact in that entire playoff run.
Oh no, he did the first
did.
two series, but that final was he had one good game in the finals, but not enough.
When he went and lost to the Warriors, they were like, Jason Tatum, is he that guy?
Well, okay, he was averaging like 15 points a game. That's why
they locked him down.
He was getting destroyed by Draymond. I don't know. Oh no, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was just playing Jason Tatum.
Andrew Wiggins was playing. That was the best series of Andrew Wiggins' life, I think, because he was playing. He was scoring too.
That Grizzlies series was nice for him, dude. I always look back and I'm like, I know.
2022 Andrew Wiggins was just different.
I don't know
something about him.
I don't know.
He was scoring in the finals too. He was scoring and he was playing defense well. I'm like,
you don't think McDavid can do that though? Like get there eventually? Like you don't think that? I mean, if he gets this ring, I mean, what else is it?
His legacy is cemented if he wins, but if he doesn't, he's 0-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals. So there's gonna probably be those questions about, can he get it done? Is he the guy to get it done at the end of a series? It's kind of like Halliburton, but on a different level, obviously, because McDavid is arguably the best player in hockey. But it's like, at the end of the day, do you trust him to lead your team in the Stanley Cup Finals? It's like Austin Matthews almost.
Yeah, I mean, and then we hold so many players to championship. They didn't never win a championship. Charles Barkley, he still ain't won no chip. Like,
still great though.
Bro, he's still one of the greatest ever. But they say he still ain't won no chip. You know what I mean? They look at Joel. Joel's one of the best bigs in the league. You ain't won no chip. Like, it's like Damian Lillard, the biggest example. Hall of Fame career. Everybody. yeah, you still ain't won that chip. Like it's like
I think it's more so Westbrook and Harden. That's what those guys are scrutinized the most for not getting the ring. I think Dame has got his. I think people realize Dame's probably never going to get one. But the fact that those two MVPs, Westbrook and Harden, haven't made the finals and since 2012. When they did it together. I mean, they've both been close in Western Conference Finals, but can't get past Stephen Curry or anybody else. So it's I think those two are the biggest examples of.
And then when Westbrook did get to the finals, he couldn't get past Bron. So it's like,
so what's he supposed to do?
It's like that, bro. You went against literally the two greatest players of all time. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. That's tough, but I don't know, man. I feel like McDavid would be fine. I think how old is he? He's like 20-something. No, he's 30-something, right?
He's been in the league for like 10 years or so, something like that.
Maybe. Let me see. He's 28. He's 28. He's fine. I think. What is the average NHL player plays until they're like 40?
I mean, Ovechkin is still doing his thing at like 39 or something like that. Right. So it's possible that he hangs around for a while.
He's 28, man. He's in his prime. He's fine. I mean, he just needs to get past the big hump, and I think his team needs to put some crazy pieces around him. I mean, they already have, but maybe one more piece, maybe it'll get him all the way.
I feel like they've been saying that for a while, though. It's just that one more piece in Edmonton. It's like they've had Draisaitl and McDavid there that whole time, but it's just they need that one extra piece, and it just hasn't come into place for them yet. Because for a while, it was them trying to get past just the West in general. They weren't able to get past the West. They made it to the conference finals, the second round, but they just never made the Stanley Cup. And now they finally made the Stanley Cup, and they're like, oh, if they add this one more piece. But it's been this one more piece argument for a while.
Right.
I mean, yeah, so it's going to be, there's going to be people that's going to, hold him accountable to be like, oh, he never won a ring or something. And there's going to be people that's going to be like, oh, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. He's still the greatest. It's like, but Wayne Gretzky got one. You tell them, oh, Wayne Gretzky got one. They're like, so?
Like, yeah, man. I still got the Panthers, but I do hope McDavid gets one day. He's a great player. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones in the NHL.
It's like Tyrese Halliburton and Shea, and you wishing and hoping that maybe Brunson gets one. They all deserve one. The Knicks fans don't, but Brunson deserves it.
What about Luka?
Getting into that.
Oh, real quick question. I know we're on hockey, but I forgot to ask you guys this. Do you guys think that if Shea wins the finals, he's automatically better than Luka? Like you can't put Luka over him anymore?
Are we talking about Halliburton?
No, I'm talking about Shea.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's a conversation.
I don't think it's a conversation anymore.
I think
at that point,
if Shea wins finals, then finals. I mean, he's on pace to win finals MVP because
I think right now, if somehow the Pacers win this finals, I still would say Shea is. I wouldn't say by a landslide like I would if he won, but I would say I think he just eclipsed Luka.
Yeah. So Jalen, you think Tyrese is a superstar? Your respected opinion, but if he wins the finals. I don't think he's going to win Finals MVP, but if he wins a ring before Luka, Brunson, whatever, and do you think he automatically is put over them because he won that ring? And Luka or Tatum too as well?
I wouldn't.
Tatum one would be interesting.
I would say I wouldn't probably say Tatum, but.
You still put him over Luka?
Luka and Brunson, I think he would eclipse both of them. I think because he got the ring, he got it done.
You think he'd be better than Luka? I don't think he'd be better than Luka or Shea. I think those two you can't.
Well, Brunson is a fair argument for him. Even if he beats Shea, I don't think he's better than Shea. But Luka, that's a real discussion because this man has been in the league longer than what Tyrese still. Even though he was on Dallas, and even though he,
he's only been in the league for like 6, 7 years.
Yeah, he didn't have the greatest teams or whatever, but When Tyrese got there, the Pacers weren't that great of a team either.
They were awful.
They were awful. He got there. They somehow,
start putting some
we're
good
playing
pieces
great.
together.
Let's go get Siakam.
Well, they pulled off highway robbery to get Pascal in the first place. So
And then they
But
picked up
if you
Nate
look at the
Clark.
Toronto Raptors, they weren't going to resign him anyway. So he said, you know what, I might as well just walk. So
Yeah,
how did they get Naismith? Because I know he used to be on Boston.
he
Who
just
did they-
signed. He just signed with the Pacers. Yeah, I think he was a free agent. But I don't know, man. That's an interesting conversation. If Tyrese wins that ring, who is he better than? In
that
the
would
league?
be a very good conversation.
Like,
because
I feel like if he wins the ring, he still can't be better than certain players. But if he gets Finals MVP, then we can talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna win that.
you can have all the first teams in the world. I guarantee you, Charles Barkley would want that ring than all them first team, all NBAs. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
I guarantee it.
All those personal accolades are great, but
All
that's
the
the
personal
other thing.
accolades don't mean nothing at all. Unless
But
you got
that
a ring,
last
bro.
that one personal accolade that you really want is that Finals MVP. That really puts you above.
If you are actually contributing to the team, say you don't win Finals MVP, but you've had a great series.
We got
Bro,
my
people
boy
are going to
Jalen.
remember that. Then
My other boy
it would
Jalen in the
I
chat
won
says
17 offense, 17 all NBA teams. Like, fuck out of here.
My boy Jalen in the chat says a ring can't match 5 continuous all first teams. Tyrese can't be better than Luka. And Naismith was a part of the Malcolm Brogdon trade. That's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, I don't know,
I
bro.
can't really argue with that. I mean,
5 continuous
it's
all
just
teams.
it's a different tier of talent, in my opinion. I'm with Jalen on this one, where Jalen, your friend, where it's like Luka's just that much better of a player than Tyrese, where I don't really see a ring putting him over Luka. And Luka's
Finals
just
MVP though. Something that Luka does not have and couldn't achieve last year against another team that's pretty much on the same tier as the Thunder team.
Didn't he get dog walked by Tatum?
I don't know about dog walk, but
I'd
yeah.
have to look at the stats.
I don't know. I don't know what the series was. I forgot what the series was. I don't know if the Celtics won like 4-1 or something. But
They won in 5. But yeah,
what are we talking about?
I don't know if he got dog walked him personally.
Well,
but
not personally. I'm talking about the team aspect.
I think team wise, yeah, absolutely. They got dog, but he averaged 29 again in the finals. So he averaged 29, 8 or 29, 9, and 6 in the finals and 3 steals.
Remember, LeBron played great against the Spurs and the Mavericks, and they still held him accountable for not winning those rings.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like Tyrese over Luka if he wins a ring.
I'm not saying by a landslide, but I would think he would eclipse.
It's a steep hill. I just don't see it.
How do you eclipse that? Like if you compare their final stats, like Luka was literally destroying them offensively and defensively a little bit on the steal side. I know he didn't play great interior defense at all, but he's kind of lazy. But he put up some crazy numbers in the finals, bro. And I don't think Tyrese is gonna match that.
Luka led the scoring out of like all scores in 3 out of those 5 games. He was putting up 30 points a game in most of those games, despite the team not winning. I know he's a liability on defense, but there's something to be said about his ability to still put up 30 game by game, especially when your team is struggling.
Jalen said
the reason why people don't like, and again, like when you think about impact, right? Some people impact with scoring. Some people impact with court vision. Just look at Caitlin Clark with the Fever. Look how bad they are when she's off the floor. Some people lead by facilitating and passing and playing like Magic did. When you look at Magic, do we look at Magic as a scorer?
No, but he did.
He scored, yes, but do we look at him as a scorer? We look at him as a pass first, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
You can't compare Tyrese to Magic Johnson. That's the issue. Like he doesn't have those accolades still. Like Luka is closer to Magic Johnson than Tyrese.
But this is all hypothetical if Tyrese wins the ring. So remember that.
Yeah, but Luka has everything else.
With no ring.
Right. I get it, but he's been closer to MVP. He has all the first teams. I mean, he did it with a lesser team, in my opinion. I think Kyrie was the only other great piece, part of that team. And Pacers have better role players, in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you guys a question really quick. In my opinion, the top 4 players in the NBA, really, I don't think there's a ton of dispute behind it. You could maybe make an argument for Ant are Giannis, Luka, Shea, and Jokic. Do you guys disagree with me on this? Because if we're gonna put Halliburton above Luka, we gotta put him like arguably top 5 in the league, and I don't think he belongs there.
I think, yeah, I would agree. I think Wemby's like approaching that as well too, but Tatum and Ant are like right behind them as well.
I have Luka top 10 in the league. I don't have him top 5.
Who's your top 5?
Yeah, who's your top 5?
When Luka's healthy, okay, let's say everyone's healthy. Who's your top 5? That includes Embiid. That includes Luka. Everyone's healthy. Who's your top 5?
Jokic, Wemby, LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards.
You don't have Giannis in there either?
Giannis is number 6.
You don't think Giannis is a top 3 player in the league when healthy?
It's a good question, but I already have Jokic up there and Wemby.
So you can have
Giannis. What's the difference?
Giannis averages 30.
Giannis is. Are we really saying that Giannis is top 6 being bad?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He's top 3.
Okay.
He averages 30 every year.
You can make an argument that he's top 1. He's top 2 and not 2.
People argue that he's better than Jokic. How is he not top 5?
He's not better than Jokic to me.
He's one of the most efficient bigs. He's great on defense. Sure, he struggles at the free throw line and he can't shoot, but he's basically a modern day Shaq with how he uses
Jokic struggles at the line as well. Giannis is not.
There's something to me about averaging a triple-double. He's not better than Jokic to me.
But Giannis has become a good facilitator through the years too. He's not on Jokic's level, but he can swing the rock.
He averaged 7 assists this year. I mean, what are we talking about?
And he puts up 30 points in like 12.
I don't know. That's just my top 5, bro. Like, I just don't have him better than Jokic.
You don't think he's better than Ant or LeBron? Fully healthy right now.
A fully healthy LeBron James?
Yes. Even LeBron will tell you Giannis is better than him. At LeBron's age right now, yes. What are you talking about? Giannis averaging 30, 12, and 7.
Giannis has the ability that LeBron doesn't at this point as much to take over games.
He had one ankle.
What?
He had one ankle.
Who?
He was playing injured pretty much like half the season. You didn't know that?
I know, but I'm talking about if they're all healthy.
Yes, a healthy LeBron James.
A peak of their powers.
He's Giannis still better than LeBron is at this stage in LeBron's career.
I'm saying if you had to restart the season right now and everyone's healthy, Giannis was top 3 in MVP voting. You think Giannis is not going to be top 3 in MVP voting if everyone's healthy, stays healthy? It would be Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis if everyone was healthy. You just said that triple-double gets you. What about averaging 30 or 33?
I don't care about points, bro. Like,
why?
You can have all the points in the world and still lose.
Giannis averages 30, 12, and 7.
And lost to Tyrese Halliburton.
Right. I'm saying I'm not talking about wins and losses. I'm talking about peak of their powers, who's better as a player. I'm not talking about the team game. I'm talking about as a player. Come on, bro. Should not be this hard.
My top 5.
I'm trying to understand. You think Anthony Edwards is better than Giannis at the peak of their powers?
As of right now, I'm taking Anthony Edwards.
Why?
He can shoot. He can defend anybody on the floor. He also passes too. Like, what are we talking about?
You don't think Giannis does all that? Giannis has the best mid-range game in the league right now, by the way.
Anthony Edwards can put up 50 without even going inside.
What are you talking about?
Bro, 2 years ago.
Bro, I literally have Anthony Edwards 5 and Giannis 6. Like, it might be tied 5. You can't really, like it's a name, dude. Like,
well, then if that's the case, if we want to argue for Ant, that's fine. Why is Steph Curry still over LeBron at this point, or over Giannis? Why is Steph over Giannis?
You said fully healthy.
Fully healthy. Giannis is a top 3 player, top 2 player in the league, bro. He has been for the past 10 years.
Well, that's y'all opinion.
What do you mean? It's a fact. He's been top 3 since 2018.
Well, that's my top 5. So
but give me a reason on why Giannis is not in your top 5.
We haven't even talked about Steph at all. Why is Steph in your top 5?
I mean, I don't mind that.
Like,
I think he's better than
I
Ant.
just told you why, bro.
Not really. You just told me that LeBron can score 50 and Ant can score 50, but Giannis can also do that with ease. He puts up 30 a game. He averages more than them for the past 5 years. He's averaged 30 for.
Oh, that's your opinion, bro.
I know, bro. I'm just trying to understand, like, why is Giannis out of your top 5? Is it the name? Is it the spotlight? Is the market there?
I just value Steph Curry.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Ant. Why are you putting Ant or 40-year-old LeBron above Giannis?
A fully healthy Anthony Edwards.
It's not better than Giannis. He's not even top 3 in the league.
Well, he is to me.
Okay, well, whatever. You're not really giving me any answers here. I don't know why, but okay.
I mean, because it's literally like maybe tied 5. It's literally tied at 5. Like,
but I'm trying to get you to reason with me here.
In your top 3, that's my big question.
I'm trying to give you a reason. I want you to give me a reasoning on why LeBron is top 3 and Giannis is not. Like, I don't get that. Like, LeBron will even tell you that Giannis he has been better than him since 2019, 2018.
Well, I'm taking a fully healthy LeBron. So,
all right.
Debate a wall.
I'm trying to debate with you. I'm trying to ask you because I want to know why your opinion's like that. What makes Giannis not top 5? Like, is it because he can't shoot threes? Like, he can shoot the mid range, he can score in the paint with ease.
That probably is the only reason. It's probably because of the threes.
But he does it without. He averages 30 without threes. That's more impressive than anything.
That's cool.
He plays.
But I value the full perimeter of shooting, and then when
But he's the best two-way player in the league as well.
I've learned a lot more about basketball to where it's like everything isn't just about being officially or how dominant you are. They literally have Walker Kessler trying to shoot threes to expand his game. Like, the 3 is very important.
Not to Giannis. It doesn't seem like.
Well, to Giannis, that's a different kind of player.
Giannis
is the best. Looking at Anthony Edwards, that can do all 3 levels.
Giannis's entire game is to be physical, tough, and just wear you down.
That's cool. Congrats. I'm looking at Anthony Edwards where he's a level 3 scorer. He can score in the paint, he can shoot the mid-range, and he can shoot threes.
He's not a better mid-range shooter than Giannis, though. So what does that say? He's not. I'm trying to compare you right now. Ant's better at 3-point shooting. That's about it. He can't shoot the mid-range as well. He can't finish as better than Giannis. He can't average more than Giannis.
Well, Giannis is
one of the most efficient players in basketball.
Well, yeah. I mean, now you're bringing height into. I mean, yeah, he's 7 foot. There's 7-footers in the league that can't put up 30 a game, and Giannis is pretty much the only one doing that. Wemby's not doing that. You put Wemby above Giannis too. Jokic is
I like Wemby better. So
Jokic is.
You didn't even mention Shea in your top 5 either. I don't think.
No, I did not. He's top 10.
Oh my gosh, Jokic is the only player that can compare to Giannis right now. Him and Giannis are very comparable.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's y'all opinion.
It's a fact, bro. Like, it's a literal fact. On, like, you can look up the stats, and people will say that Jokic and Giannis are neck and neck when it comes to being the face of the league or the best player in the league.
There was a fair argument on NBA Twitter during the Nuggets Thunder series that Giannis was the best player in the entire NBA, and Giannis, I think people have a case to say that too.
We understand Giannis lost first round, bro, but that's a team. That's a
people
team.
People are acting like I'm making him number 10.
But I'm not
saying it is disrespectful to have him next to Anthony Edwards.
Correct.
Like, be fucking for real.
I am being for real. It's putting him 6 and not top 3 is just not correct.
That's not correct for you.
It's not correct. Look, statistically, factually, it's not correct. Like, he is better than literally everyone else besides Jokic. Like, they're literally neck and neck. You can put anyone else.
All of them are neck and neck. At 1 through 5 are all neck and neck. No, it's just how you put them in order.
No,
yes, it is.
Top 2 players are miles better than the rest of the top 10 players. That's a fact. Okay, top 3 players.
I would argue that Shea is right up there with them, and maybe Luka. as well. But
I put
and then
Joe. If we're talking healthy, Joel's up there.
yeah, I mean that I wanted to add
So
him
Joel
in there
Embiid
too,
is better
'cause
than Wemby.
Joel
Yes,
gets
he dropped 70
30
on him. What are you talking about?
Joel gets like 30 and 8 every single time he goes out on the
Joel
floor.
dropped 70 points on Wemby. 70 points when he was healthy last year. Dropped 70 on him.
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay, that's a fact. He dropped 70 on Wemby. Yes, he's better than Wemby fully healthy.
Okay.
Won an MVP, by the way.
You are entitled to your opinion, buddy. That's just how it is. I mean, that's my top 5. So
I'm just
don't
trying
like
to get
it, then don't like it.
I'm not saying you can have your own opinion. I'm just trying to get you to tell me how is Wemby better than Giannis or Embiid fully healthy, like or Shea even.
I just told you.
Not really. He did not. He just told me that Giannis can't shoot threes, but he can do everything else.
Wemby can shoot threes even.
Correct. But
there's my point.
I would say Wemby's more developing a 3-point shot. I don't think it's 100% there yet, but
well, I guess we missed our last topic. So, final thoughts.
I'll start this one. Packers, after 7 years, released Jair Alexander. There's been a lot of discourse, especially on Wisconsin sports media. ESPN Milwaukee had a couple of posts about it yesterday with varying opinions. I don't really think this changes too much. He just never was on the field to begin with. And I understand both sides of it where fans wanted him to stick around because he is still a great corner when he's healthy, but the team was basically used to playing without him last year. And they signed Nate Hobbs from Vegas. I think he'll be decent. There's obviously going to be questions about who's going to start at the CB1 position, whether it's going to be Valentine or Nixon. And I don't feel great about Nixon being CB1 this season at all. But I think this move almost needed to happen in a way just because the guy's never healthy. And who says if he goes to a different team, gets a fresh start, it might happen. But in Green Bay, there were times where he was told that he could play and he didn't think that he could. And I think just a fresh start is going to be needed for him. I don't necessarily disagree with the move. I think it was probably the right thing to do. They were used to playing without him, and there's not much you can do from that standpoint. And you're saving money too, so I don't see a problem with it.
$17 million by getting rid of him. So I mean, that's a big plus. You can sign somebody not better, but you can sign somebody that's really significant to your defense after that as well.
I think honestly, they need an edge more than they need a corner. They need someone to pair with Rashawn Gary. I don't think Lucas Van Ness is the answer at the other edge spot. And if they could get, I know this is very wishful thinking, if they could pull off a trade for a Trey Hendrickson, I'd feel so much better about our defense with the money that we save from the Alexander move.
I can see that happening, actually. I just don't know what you guys would give up. I mean, you could have traded Jair to them. I don't know if they'd want him.
Well, the thing is I'm sure we did our due diligence on trying to get anything of value out of him. But this just leads me to believe that he was worth nothing on the open market, specifically because of his attitude off the field, his kind of inconsistencies with wanting to be in the locker room or not. Some days he was really invested, some days he wasn't. And I don't really think any other team wanted to take that on for any significant capital, like a third, second round pick. And they just did what they had to and released him and saved the money.
Yeah, my final thought was also an NFL one, and I think Nick Chubb went to the Texans.
Dude, he signed already?
I think
so.
He
signed yesterday.
How much help does CJ Stroud need?
Oh my God! Like, am I under a rock or? I didn't even see that.
How much help does CJ Stroud need? Like, goodness. Like I love CJ Stroud. I love
that's it.
He's getting all these offensive pieces every single year, and I know he's been in the league for 2 years.
And they losing the divisional.
I know he's been.
There's no excuses this year.
He's got a better run game. Well, he has Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb in the backfield. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about? That's a
dumbass move. Why would they even sign Chubb?
Because that's a power back.
That's a good RB2 still. Chubb's
that's a great RB2. That's like another Sonic and
But isn't Chubb like a RB? Wouldn't you think Chubb be a RB1?
He broke his leg. He broke his leg and he's coming off of that.
He was very
One
underwhelming
year
last
deal.
year, but that was also on a Cleveland team where it's like nothing went
I
right.
still think he could be a running back one somewhere.
Oh, he could, but that's the point. You use the Lions method. Get two running back ones. See what you
You
can
got
do.
Sonic and Knuckles on that team. Mixon is definitely the more
Yeah.
speedy receiving back, and Chubb is just the ram it down your throat type of guy. It's a great move for them.
You could
And
argue
it's
that's a better.
affordable, too. It's only a $5 million deal.
Oh my God, Paul.
Pause. But I think you can argue that that's a better running back duo than Gibbs and Montgomery. You can make a debate. Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb.
It'll be something to see, especially with them without
no Diggs and no Tank Dell. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, they drafted a
it'd be
receiver,
very interesting
too. I
to see
forgot his
without,
name, but they
Ben
drafted
Johnson
someone,
for
too.
real.
Whereas comp was literally Nico Collins.
Damn, my man.
So they basically have two Nico Collins on the same roster.
Well, he's got to develop into that first, but yeah, I mean, still, our offense should be great. I mean, Stephon Diggs would have been great to keep because Tank Dell's going to be out for who knows long. You know, he's going to be out for probably another 2 years because his leg just got destroyed.
Yeah, my neck.
Hey yo, yeah, but you know, it's going to be very
Damn,
interesting.
pause on my end.
It's going to be very interesting to see what the Texans do. I'm excited to see that team. I just saw it. I'm like, bro, he doesn't need another running back one, but I mean, it's a 1 year deal to steal. I like it. I mess with it a lot. So that's my final thought.
My final thought, I will say congratulations to the Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team. Them boys did it. They got 3 championships on their entire program history. Congrats. But my real final thought is, you know, the someone I was seeing, she likes Lamar Jackson. So it's like, she said he's better than Josh Allen. So I was like,
Once Lamar makes a Super Bowl, I don't really think there's going to be a real debate
I mean, it's
between
not
the
that
two of them anymore.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm just looking at it from the eyes of, so I got to have a debate with you and Azir when football season comes. We're gonna have to get heated when football season comes.
Yeah, good luck with that one, bro. That's gonna be fun.
But yeah, that's. I mean, I've been looking at a whole lot of people going over the past few days. Everybody had Patrick Mahomes number 1, and then they had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Is he number 2 in the league?
Who?
Josh Allen. That's crazy.
I don't even know if I'd put Mahomes at 1 anymore because last year he was a bit underwhelming, and the year before he was too.
He made the Super Bowl again, guys. I don't think we can.
That's what I'm saying. I can't really tell Patrick Mahomes.
He's become more of a game manager
Mahomes
over time than like a game changer. He's almost become like a game manager versus a game changer.
Look, I hate Mahomes as the next person, bro, but I'm done hating on him, bro. He made the Super Bowl again. He didn't win it. I'm still gonna hold that over him forever. But hey, bro, you can't bet against him, bro. He makes the right plays at the right times. I know he has the best coach offensively ever, but that helps. So I mean, you can't say too much about him. I know he's not a game changer, but he kind of is. I don't know how to describe it, dude.
This might be a hot take. I think
finds a way to win games.
I think the Chiefs only win 10 or 11 games this year. I think they regress a lot.
Oh, well, we said that last year and they win the Super Bowl. So we have to see. I don't know.
I wonder what people's number 1 quarterback is if it isn't Patrick Mahomes.
Lamar Jackson. That's who.
Or Josh Allen.
Oh, my God. Same stats as Aaron Rodgers last year? I don't want to hear that.
Don't ask a Bears fan, but Caleb Williams will probably be up there for them.
I don't know what you smoking, but I mean, I'm a Bears fan, but I ain't
a couple good games next year. Oh boy!
Hey, you got a Bears fan right here that don't even like Caleb Williams. That's crazy.
I like Caleb, but I wanted Justin. But now I had to move on, so I had to just cheer for my team how it is. So
I don't know why you would want Fields still, bro. I don't know.
Well, not anymore. I was just saying back at that time when Caleb was drafted, I still wanted Justin because we could have possibly had.
You could have built around him, bro. That would have been that would have been a crazy miss if you ended up.
No, Caleb's got we could have possibly this year, though. He's got the O-line finally. They're all in place. Everything's in place for him to be good. If he's not good, this year it's on him.
All right, this is the last point. If this is a hypothetical, if they had Justin Fields and they would have lost badly again, having number 2 pick, They could have got Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders.
But that's the thing. They wanted to be good last year, and they
and they weren't good.
They thought they were
They
going
could
to
have
be
been.
good. I thought they were going to be good.
The Commanders
I
ruined
didn't.
them. The Commanders ruined them. That Hail Mary.
I didn't.
They're on a
That
streak.
and Matt Eberflus
I
just
said,
being
let me see the change. And I
a
ain't seen no
numbskull.
change.
You're also in the hardest division of football right now. So I mean, that's.
I said, let me see the change. My dad was drinking the Kool-Aid and crap last year. I was like, he's a rookie. I still want to see him fail, and I still want to see him how he comes back after failure. After failure, he just kept failing. I mean, it ain't his fault, obviously. He still threw for, 3,500 yards or something?
Yeah.
He failed on his behind again. The next game again. Then it comes to coaching. Then he loses off a Hail Mary. Then he's on his behind again. Gets ran through by Texans. And then he's on his behind again. It's like, we could have just had Justin and had the number 1 pick.
Man, I don't know.
This is how it's going to be.
Look, I personally think y'all should have built around Justin Fields, but I'm happy I got Caleb because now y'all can be bad for another.
Yeah, we can. Man, shut up.
I can hear you.
That's
bad for a
another
while.
can of worms that I don't want to open today.
Yeah, we got all summer to get into that with training camp starting up soon and stuff. So,
Oh yeah, best
Mini camp starts today.
He's coming back, baby.
all right, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Follow our podcast page on the platforms. Links are in the description box below. We do have a Spotify, Instagram, and we have a group TikTok or a podcast TikTok. So if you do watch us on Spotify, you can come to the YouTube channel and interact with us live when we're on air. We will post reels and shorts of the shows, polls, even question boxes. And if you always have something, you can always DM us and you'd like to have answered or comments you may have. We try to dive into a lot of stuff. And you know what? On Thursday, we're going to try to get into something like life outtakes or something. We're going to try to get into that or something. See what good vacation spots people should start going to and stuff for like vacation. But this is vacation season. So with that, you have seen, this is Shot of Sports, and we'll see you Thursday.